You guys, it's your girl Sandra D, the main event, and welcome to my channel. And hello to my community at large. Today we will not be talking about hair and we will not be talking about food. We are on the journey of speaking about the narcissist. Now today we're going to talk about why the relationship with the narcissist did not work out and why. All right. Now, you guys already know that when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with someone who is wounded, and they were wounded as a child. Okay. So when they were growing up, they were either rejected or they suffered some kind of abuse or some type of trauma that happened to them in their lives. Okay. So what they have done to be able to protect themselves, to cut themselves off from their emotions, and so that they will not feel the hurt and the pain, is they built this alter ego, okay, as a way to guard and to protect themselves from being able to feel hurt, to be able to feel pain, and to be able to feel rejected. Now, during this stage, as they start to grow up, you're meeting a narcissist who is introducing themselves as well put together. But what they're doing is when they met you, they needed to understand how they could actually get into your good graces without you seeing who they really are, which was a threat to your destiny because you're destined for greatness. Okay. So when a narcissist is meeting you, a narcissist is meeting you to see how they can get supply from you to meet their life demands, because they did not receive certain things as a child, and now they're looking as an adult for those things to be fulfilled that they didn't get when they were children. So when the narcissist meets you, they actually have a little detail on you because they have already been watching you already before they actually came in contact with you. Okay. So when they do meet you, you don't see them as a threat, because what they're showing you is who you are as an individual, as a purpose. This is why you guys were able to click. This is why you guys were probably able to bond. This is why you had so much in common, because they were actually deceiving you by showing who you are, so that you would not be able to see the manipulation that was coming or the threat that they were going to present in your life. Okay. So what winds up happening is when you go through that love bombing stage, I like to call it the interview, because what they're actually doing is interviewing you to see how they can get that supply to meet their demands in their own personal lives. So when you're going through this process, they are asking you a ton of questions because they need to know how they can use your information that you provided by giving them the tea and sipping it with them, how they're going to actually use your good nature of who you are against you. But they also want to know those things that you don't like, because they're going to use that information at a later time. That could be at the devouring stage, or it could be at the discard page, because you got to remember, this is the narcissist game, not yours. So the reason why the relationship does not work out is because once that mask that they have comes off, okay, after the honeymoon stage is over, because they feel like they got you into a position to where you could not resist them, to where you wouldn't tell them no. So what you're dealing with is the childhood wounds of a wounded narcissist who never grew up. Okay. This is what I like to call the Peter Pan syndrome. So when you're in the relationship, you're actually not dealing with an adult version of the narcissist, because that does not exist. The only reason why that they were able to get you as far as they did is because they mimicked you, they mirrored you, so that you could see them as being on the same page as you. But they knew that couldn't last because they haven't fully developed. This is why when you see a lot of comments, or a lot of people will comment about their relationship with a narcissist and say they're so childish. Yes, because they never grew up. So when you're in the relationship with the narcissist, you're not dealing with a full deck of cards. You're dealing with someone who is immature, who is stuck in their past. Okay? So when they're lashing out, and they call it a narcissist injury, it's pretty much just a temper tantrum that an adult is using as a fit to get their way. Okay? So what they're doing is working the system, okay, of being able to manipulate you to fill the voids of their lives that happened to them when they were a kid, because they missed out on a lot of things and they want to make you pay for it. So when you're dealing with a narcissist, you are not dealing with an adult. You're dealing with a child. The child that was wounded and hurt and never got past their pain of the past. They just learned how to cover it up. So when you're in the relationship, you're not having a relationship with an adult. You're having a relationship with a child. This is why the relationship cannot and will not work out. This is why they lose so many relationships, because what they're doing is pretending to be one thing and then showing you who they are in the long run so that you will accept it. And what they're doing is trying to take advantage of your kindness and who you are as an individual, because they're looking for an adult figure like a parent that will pamper them, that will spoil them, that will give them their own way because they weren't able to receive certain things that they should have got from the parent that raised them or guardian who raised them. And they didn't get that because they were wounded, they were hurt, they were rejected. So when you and a narcissist have a disagreement, they don't see you as someone that is nurturing and caring. When you cause that narcissist injury, they're reminded of the person who hurt them when they were a child, so they revert back to that. And that's why you will see these temper tantrums. You will see these narcissistic rages. You'll see the belittling. You'll see the gaslighting. You'll see the breadcrumbing, all kinds of things, because at that point, they want to act like they're the parent and you're the child. Have you ever noticed that your energy is always sometimes on low when you're dealing with a narcissist? It's because they're sucking the very essence of who you are from you, because that's part of a supply that they need to fill the void in their lives. So what's happening during that stage is, as your energy is going low, theirs is going high. Now, the purpose for that is because they're trying to make you weak so that you won't be able to fight back. You know, like when you was a kid and you had all this energy and your parents needed to have some rest, and what they wind up doing, they wind up taking you to the park so you could go ahead and run out all that energy so that you'll be tired. Well, in the same essence, this is what the narcissist is doing to you, except for they're not taking you to the park where you can have fun and enjoy yourself and make yourself sleepy. No, they're giving you all types of tasks that they need for you to do. They need attention just like a little child, and it's time consuming and it's very draining. So that is done on purpose because they're trying to make you weak so that they can become stronger. Okay. And what they're trying to do is switch the roles. And what they're doing to you is putting all that childhood trauma onto you. And what they're getting from you is the things that they lack that they didn't get when they were a child. And this is how they're trying to elevate themselves to be as the person that's more dominant, that knows what they're doing, and you don't, because at this point they're trying to do a switcheroo. You remember when I told you guys about Freaky Friday? Okay, with Lindsay Lohan and I think her name is Jamie Curtis. and they had switch roles. Well, this is what the narcissist is trying to do to you, except for it's a transfer of power to make you weak, for them to be strong, for them to put onto you their trauma, okay? And what they're doing is receiving who you are, that cool, essence, nurturing person, so that they can get you hooked into the relationship, but also put onto you those hurtful, harmful things that happened to them as a kid, and trying to make you pay for their past hurts, their past pain, their past trauma, their past rejection of things that happened to them as a kid. So this is why the relationship with the narcissist cannot work and will not work, because you're not a child. You're not immature. You are healed. You are whole. They're not. They're incomplete. They're stuck in the past, and they'll never get past it because they won't do the work. This is why when they have relationships, they don't work out, because the supply and demand that they're looking for to meet their lives is non-existent as an adult, because you can't make someone pay for something that they did not do to you. But that's why the narcissist is going out getting all this supply and demand, because they're looking for someone who is nurturing like a parent to give them what they needed that they did not get when they were a child. And they're looking for you to pay for their pain and suffering. And how they're doing it is making sure that they show you who they really are, and casting onto you all of the burdens, all of that hurt, all of that suffering that they went through as a child, because they're trying to get rid of that pain by casting it onto you. I'll see you guys in the next video.